Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Dylan. So we're here with Dylan Francis, who is a local legend in good old Chester County, amazing videographer and photographer who goes on multiple adventures throughout the year. And his most recent adventure in his PennBilt was going to the running of the bulls, which was, when was it, the date that you went?
That was July. The festival, I think, is the 4th through the 14th. Or
In the middle of July.
6th through the 14th? I forget already. I've been so busy. But, yeah, it's a week in Pamplona, Spain. And the first day is a big party, a big celebration. It's a Christian holiday to remember someone who was martyred, Saint Fermin. So it's the San Fermin Festival. That's what it is, which I had no idea. I thought the running of the bulls was its own cultural thing.
Right.
So it's basically, from what I understand, a combination of remembering the saint and the local tradition of when bulls would be taken out to field. They would run them all, and the youth would jump in and run with the bulls as a show of bravado. So
right.
That's developed into this, and then bullfighting also was in the region, a popular pastime, dangerous pastime that people would go out and see. So it kind of combines everything into this big week-long festival that apparently a million people go to now.
So is it like a coming of age for a lot of the young people originally?
I think that's maybe more what it was. I can't speak to that. I didn't do too much research into the history of it, but when I was there, I thought that it would be more young men, but it was every age. I mean, there was some near geriatric fellows running as well, which was pretty cool to see. And They seemed like veterans. They seemed like they had been doing it a while.
Year in, year out. When you got there, first of all, what was your impetus? What made you decide to take on this crazy idea to go to Spain and run with the bulls?
So I grew up, my dad was a big literary and movie buff, and we were always Hemingway fans in our house, and we watched all the movies, and I read many of the books. So of course, that puts, for Americans, Hemingway put that festival as well as bullfighting on the map, I think, for a lot of people, and that kind of came downstream to me. So my dad is now passed, but as much as he would never want to see me run with the bulls because he was, he wouldn't want to see me be hurt, I think it was a dream of his to experience, and then became a dream of mine naturally. And I guess that the reason that I wanted to do it this year was because, like anything, you get this hankering to do something, and you really should do it before that hankering goes away or before you get distracted or any other billion things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I had kind of the fire, and I wanted to see it through, and I planned my year around it. Also, there's, it's a controversial activity, right? The bullfighting is there's a lot of animal rights people that are against it, so on and so forth. So I'm always a bit worried that everything will be canceled someday. So I'm trying to experience these things before that happens, because while it is, it is rough and the bulls are killed, it's a cultural event that holds a lot of significance to a lot of people and is something that people gather around. So I wanted to do it while it still exists.
So paint a picture regarding what the day was like there.
So we showed up. I went with my girlfriend, Maddie. We had backpacked for almost 2 weeks to get there. It was the end of a big trip. First time in Europe. We went through from Paris all the way through southern France, castle hunting, then through Andorra, which is a small tax-free zone that's controlled by France and Spain collectively in the mountains. Very interesting place, super commercial, but beautiful mountains. Then through northern Spain, west towards Pamplona. So when we arrived, it was I haven't been to a lot of things that are comparable, but it reminded me a bit of the Eagles parade after they won the Super Bowl.
Really?
It was just insanity. Yeah, I mean, there was people everywhere from everywhere.
This is pre-running?
This was just like getting to the bus station.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's not a huge city.
Yeah.
It's an old city, but it's big enough to host this event. Right?
But they probably didn't have the infrastructure to bus people there, and
They had it actually pretty well under wraps. I imagine it's a really good, like, I mean, there's no way to control something like this completely, right? It's running the bulls. I mean, it's insane. The heart of it is an insane thing, right? But they do a good job organizing it. So we were able to get a bus in from Zaragoza, which was like a city maybe 2 hours, a really cool city, 2 hours to the east, where we had a really great experience. So we get in. We didn't run the first day. We just kind of chilled out. We were tired. We kind of wanted to observe. People were everywhere. A lot of young people, but also a lot of families, and also groups of older folks. Everyone was dressed all white with a red handkerchief that says San Fermin on it. I should have brought one with me.
So wait, let me ask you. You said the first day you didn't run, so there's multiple days of the running?
So the very first day, I don't remember this year which date it was. It might have been the 6th, I think, was like the initial like celebration. There's no running on the first day. It's more of like a celebratory event. You can see videos of it like from balconies where there's just like tens of thousands of people like all cheering and singing some Spanish song. It's really powerful. And then the running starts after that. So then every day consecutively for a week they run the bulls.
What time of day does it take place?
I think 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay,
You kind of
it's
have
early.
to be there by like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah.
So we got there. We got there on the second day that they ran after they ran. So then we stayed the night, got up at like 5 in the morning after walking around in the streets, drinking wine. People were everywhere. Everyone was covered. All their white clothes were covered in wine stains. Drinking all night. Really crazy party. Got a couple hours of sleep. Woke up in the morning. Got dressed. Nervously head out into the street for about where we thought it was going to happen. The streets were still open. They hadn't closed them off yet. And me and my girlfriend, said our goodbyes on one side of this fence. And there was police, filtering people, making sure you didn't have a backpack, a camera, water bottles. They wanted nothing. If you were going to be running in the corridor where the bulls run, you could have nothing with you. Because they didn't want things to end up piling up. People would be falling over shit that they leave out in the street. So, me and Maddie split. She was just washed away in the crowd. I was worried about her, but I knew she had to take care of herself.
Yeah.
As I did myself. I spoke to a couple Americans who was their first time also, and they said that the spot that we were was actually a very bad spot to be. It was close to the start. The bulls come out with a lot of force out of the gates. So they said a better place to be is towards the arena, towards the end.
Right.
Because there's a little more room. And that says we're a good beginner spot. So I said, I'm going to head that way.
Let me ask you about that one picture that's going to be in this article of the bulls. The one bull was literally climbing up over the people that were shielding themselves. Where was that?
Let me get to that. That is the end of the whole event.
Okay.
So everyone's kind of crammed into this central part of the city. They're not allowed to spread out throughout the whole running corridor that's fenced off throughout the city.
Right.
And then around 7:30 or so, they let everyone go. So everyone some people stay where we were, in front of the mayor's house. This big, beautiful central plaza. I spread out with everyone else. We all walked slowly. People sung this song, and I got myself towards the arena. I had watched some videos of the running, and I thought, let me avoid dangerous corners.
Right, don't get pinned.
Don't get pinned in corners, because sometimes the bulls come around and they come wide, and then they'll gore 8 people that are just on one side, and that's how you get killed. Yeah. So I found a nice spot towards the arena. Someone was telling me it's good if you can run into the arena, because then you make it to the end, right? So I thought that was cool. Let me see what that's about. So I find a nice little spot. And then it gets really quiet. Everyone, it must feel like how it felt when people were less intense, but how people would go to war back in the day. Everyone's walking silently. People are praying. People are stretching. There's really no conversation. When all morning it was loud and people were excited. Now it's close to go time. Yeah. People start jumping and warming up and breathing heavily. And instead of everyone was facing towards the arena, now everyone stops and faces back. Right. They know the bulls will be coming soon. So I think it was right at 8 o'clock. Forgive me if my times are wrong. You get a call.
Sorry. Decline.
There's a little rocket, like a little firework they send off.
Yeah.
And that means that the gate opens and the bulls go.
Yeah.
So you kind of hear it amongst the chatter. Shoo, pop. And it's like, okay, we know that they're on the other end of the city, but they'll be here in a minute or two.
Yeah.
Now the intensity, you could feel it. You could like cut it. People are jumping up and down, breathing. Everyone's like kind of in a fighting stance, facing where they're coming from. I'm nervous. My heart's beating. It's so exciting. So you can kind of see above the heads.
The movement?
You can hear chatter, yeah, but it's hard because it's so chaotic.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the crowd who was all now facing towards
Is
the bulls
parting.
starts to move towards you. People
Okay.
start to kind of get like a head start. People start to panic. They start to spread out to the sides. It's hard to kind of keep your eyes to where the bulls are because you're dodging bodies that are coming past you. And then the intensity picks up and you feel like you're like in like a current of water.
Yeah.
Bodies start moving. People start falling over each other, stepping on each other, yelling.
That's pretty scary, actually. That's like being in a concert. Where,
Right, it's like a concert if there's like an accident. Everyone
Yeah.
starts running
Yeah.
one direction.
Panicking.
That was the more dangerous part, I thought, was the people. Because you can avoid the bulls, I think, on your own.
Right.
They're not coming for you.
Right.
But when people start pushing each other, tripping over each other, that's when it gets dangerous. So I found myself up against the fence. I didn't want to run prematurely and not see the bulls. So I kind of like barricaded myself off as much as I could with some other people. And when people were running by, someone knocked two people down in front of me, and there was a pile up, and there was this old guy that fell into the way. So I was trying to pick him up, and then there was this kid. He was getting kicked in the face. I tried to pick him up.
Yeah.
And then then you hear all of a sudden the bull bells. There were bells around there.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. And then there they go. They fly past you. And I think there's 12 of them.
Yeah.
So I thought, I've always like watching this, you want to touch one of the bulls. That's like the goal. You want to run with them. So I let a couple go, and I was thinking in my mind, I don't want to go out, cut into this lane of bulls, and then have one pop out of a crowd of people right in front of me and horn me. So I counted a couple. I thought, okay, I'm going to go. I think a number has passed, but not all of them. So then I bolt out right as two come by, and I was able to get my hand right on one right as we were going into the arena.
I think I saw that picture.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I kind of I didn't run in front of them. I kind of chased them in. So next year I'm going to have to run in front of them.
Oh.
That's what the veterans do.
So that then brings me to the question again about the pile up with the bull, but then you just said next year. So we'll loop back on that one.
Well, no, I can explain that photo. That was not one of my photos, obviously.
Yeah.
It's took that from the news. So we'll have to give credit for that. But so you run into the arena with the bulls, and all the bulls are like circled and then put away. And now there's like 100 of these runners who made it standing in the arena. They only let a certain number of people in. You have to be near the end.
Okay.
Then they close the doors, and now you're like stuck in the arena. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And I'm looking around, and some people are smiling who have done it before.
Right.
I'm like, what's happening now?
Right.
And they were like, oh, now the show starts.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, well, they're not going to fight the bulls. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. They don't fight until the afternoon.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? Well, then everyone clears out of the way where they ran all the bulls into like this corridor underneath.
Right.
Here comes a bull, comes running out, and it's got clipped horns. So it still has horns, but they're like, the points are clipped and they're like padded with duct tape.
Is it the same bull that ran? Or
No, different bull.
Different that they
bull.
had in the arena.
Right. So they basically they had this other bull, they let it out, and it just comes and just kicks everyone's ass in the arena. So it just bucks people, and you have to run away from it. And people try and touch its butt, and they run it for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they come and they herd it away, these guys. So that's their job. And then they let another fresh one out, and they do this for an hour. So 4 bulls. And
did you know that you were part of this sacrificial entertainment?
No idea that was going to happen. Did not do enough research.
That's crazy.
So what people would do is, people who have done this before, they learn that if you lay down in front of the entrance of where the bull comes out, it jumps over you.
Oh, and then you won't be in harm's way.
Well, no, you put yourself more in harm's way there.
Yeah.
But they think it's fun, It's like a cool thing to do. It's like showing off.
Certifiable.
So one bull didn't jump, right?
Just I saw that. Scrambling.
Right on everybody, yeah.
I mean, I know a bull's got to weigh 1,400 pounds. Easy. 1,800 pounds? I mean,
I don't know.
A decent-sized horse is like 1,400.
Yeah, these bulls weren't like as big as some of the ones that ran. There was 2 kinds of bulls that ran. There was like these huge, bulls. I think they might have been females, so they weren't bulls.
Yeah.
But they had long horns.
Yeah.
They were really docile. Then there was these smaller bulls they were mean. And one of the Spanish guys said about these bulls have bad jokes. He was trying to tell me in broken English.
Yeah.
They have bad jokes, which means like they kill people. So they run them together because if they only let the bad bulls run on their own, they would tear everybody up. But they kind of work them in with these like slower, friendly bulls.
Yeah, longhorns or whatever.
Then those bulls are for whatever reason they follow the bigger bulls.
Right.
So they'll bring a big bull out into the
herd
arena.
Animals.
Right. They bring a big one out, and then the other one kind of goes to it, and that's how they get him to follow that one back in. So.
So would you do it again?
Oh, I plan to go next year. I'm trying to put together a bigger group. I think that, people don't have fun like that anymore. That's still recording? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's old school fun.
Oh. Yes.
That's like old school fun that like you can't buy that fun. You can't pay anyone. Like skydiving's fun. You got to pay for it, right? It's like it's planned. It's dangerous, but it's planned. It's organized. Someone's in charge. This was like. You want to step in? Doesn't cost $1. Completely.
So that crazy. Was my other question. Clearly, this is not like they're having you sign liability releases.
No. I don't know what they do if someone gets hurt. I mean, you'll see on the news afterwards, people get an ambulance. Some people with their thumbs up and a neck brace. Other people just bloody and unconscious.
Yeah.
Some guy got one of the days I ran. He was in that bad corner I was talking about, and he got destroyed. He got like bucked up, then ran over, then bucked up again. Some guy in a purple shirt. Some people don't wear the white the day of the running because they want to find themselves on TV, which I should have done. I should have had a better marker. I had a headband on, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah. So tell me, like, what was your most memorable moment looking back on it? What was the biggest impression or impact that this event had for you since you had anticipated it for so long? Kind of, it was folklore in your head through your dad when you were younger.
I think
walking away from it.
Yeah, I think that like it's really cool to get that close to like. I don't know. I think I've done more dangerous things. Like that was dangerous and uncontrolled. But like if you're like a rock climber, like rock climbing is like right. There's riding a motorcycle, right? These things are all dangerous. But that was like. Dangerous in such a fun, chaotic, communal way. Yeah. And I think it's important to like experience that. I think what's most memorable of the whole thing is not the running, but just before the running. Yeah. When everybody was warming up and quiet and praying, it was like everyone's kind of achieving the same state of like I know something is about to happen. Yeah. I have to calm myself. I have to like get together with whether you believe in God or whatever it is. And like hope for the best and that and kind of like that sense of like individualism within the community was very interesting and very memorable. So how did you end up connecting with Bill over this and deciding that you were going to run with the bulls in your PennBilt? I don't know, you tell me. That was a cool part of it. Like I carried those pants for 2 weeks. Tried to keep them clean. Because I wanted them to not be dirtied until the run. How did we connect? I don't remember the first
You must have just been sitting up here, and Bill has a tendency to wax prolifically with people. Yeah.
I think I had mentioned what I was up to, and I
he was like, "These are close enough to white."
I made a joke about the pants, and he's like, "Oh, we got some pretty white pants." Yeah, he's like, "I'll give you a pair if you want to get some photos for us." So I said, "That's great." I mean, they're great. They're great clothes. I don't have any clothes that are. I tear clothes up, so I don't buy high-quality clothes. Yeah. But I'm getting older, so I need high-quality clothes, right? Because I'm supposed to be a professional. So, they held up well. Here they are right here. They're all stained up. There's some blood stains on them from who knows what. Yeah. We'll take a picture of you out front on the porch. And I'll send this to Bill as well, the interview, so it can But now Bill was cool hooking me up with this hat, which he loves because I've also destroyed the hat. It is completely fried, but you've got to keep on wearing that thing. No, I love this hat. I get really connected to hats. And then I lose them. Yeah. They have about 18 It's me and my water bottles. Water bottles. Sunglasses, right? All that shit. But no, this hat's seen a lot of sun. But it looks great. It looks better with age. That's awesome. It's all frayed. All right.